You either use the internet for fun or you use the internet to grow. You're here to grow. Welcome to TRS Clips. Why don't you share the most impactful experience?
Oh, there have been many. And I also feel that when you read a lot of the so-called scriptures in Hinduism, and I've had to go through all the Vedas, the Upanishads, the Purans, sometimes your intuition, and I also practice a certain amount of pranayam. And at that time, I was doing more pranayam, the incident I'm talking about. So I just, I teach in a college and I have a big, large class of, whatever, 40 girls or whatever, usually. And I remember this was not an Indian history class, it was an American history class. And, I had to finish the syllabus, so I was in a hurry. I enter the room and I can't explain, I can't tell you what happened to me, Ranveer. I just like, there was this darkness. And I tried to open my mouth and I remember I was going to talk about a certain president in America and words wouldn't come out. This has never happened to me. I said, no, what's going on? What's going on? I'm looking around at the students and finally I said, what's going on? So they said, nothing, ma'am. I said, no, something's wrong with this class. Why am I not being able to speak? I actually said that to the students. It was early in the morning. And then one girl ran out of the class crying. So I said, what's with her? So they said, ma'am, her boyfriend, it was Valentine's Day yesterday and he gave her a hard time. So she went. I said, okay, now let me teach. I'm not interested in all that. I tried to teach again. My voice would not come out. My words would not come out. Finally, I just put down my register and I just started looking at each and every girl. And finally, there was a girl right at the end. Her head was down. I won't take her name. She's well known today. I just looked at her and I said, look at me. And she I said, why is your head down? Look at me. She looked at me and her eyes had complete devastation in them. I cannot even describe what her eyes had in them. All I said was, being a practical person myself, I said, leave my room, go down to the canteen. Please have a cup of tea or coffee. Just leave my room. And believe me, she left my room. She got up and I was scared at the same time. So her best friend was sitting in front. I said, go with her. Go. I'll give you attendance because that's all that students are bothered about. The two of them left and I was able to take my lecture. I took my lecture. I came to the staff room. The two girls followed me back to the staff room and then they apologized. We are so sorry that we disrupted your class. And then I said, what's wrong with you? I taught you last year. You were perfectly fine. What's happened to you today? Then she said, tell her. The other friend started nudging her. Tell ma'am, you have to tell her. She said, ma'am, the moment you told me to look up, I was just wondering how I'm going to commit suicide. We're on the 3rd floor, ma'am. The rocks are very sharp here. And